Shot! Let's talk it! The target is an armored truck at Perimeter Trust, 10 a.m. sharp. Switch car, baby, long stay parking structure, start in the a.m. Questions?
I got a question, Doc. Why'd I believe phones over here hear the goddamn word you said?
You ain't even listening.
Baby. The target is an armored truck at Perimeter Trust in Dunwoody, 10 a.m. sharp. The switch car is ready, but you want me to hit the long stay parking structure and get a heist vehicle that stays colder longer? It needs to be ready for an 8:30 start. Questions?
After being coerced into working for a crime boss, a young getaway driver finds himself taking part in a heist, doomed to fail. Hello and welcome to the Fungi podcast. I'm Nick, also known as Mr. Nikolosky, and I'm here with my co-host.
What's up, guys? This is Big Cox, and today we're back here about to talk about a new hit movie from Edgar Wright called Baby Driver.
That's right, we are.
Yeah.
So before we get started, I just want to talk about the history of Baby Driver, the movie, because it's been in the works for a very long time.
Has it been?
Edgar Wright first started penning the script in 1998.
Jeez, so it's almost going on two decades.
Well, he finished writing the movie in 2011, but he got an advance from the studio in 2007 on the movie, and he said he just wanted to thank them for not suing him over it. And he actually, he already used the idea of Baby Driver when he directed a music video starring Noel Fielding as the getaway driver, and you actually see a little clip of that in the movie.
What music video is that?
I have no idea. Something British.
Alright.
It's about Noel Fielding sitting in a car, waiting, there's music going. He's like timing himself to the music, and then Nick Frost runs out, hops in the car, he's like, let's go! And they just take off. You know how Edgar Wright is with Nick Frost?
Yeah.
Wow, that's the whole history, actually.
Thought you had so much more. So I know we were leaving the theater, and you had mentioned that he was able to do this movie because he had left the Ant-Man project with Marvel.
Right, because initially he was working on this, then he was brought on for Ant-Man, so he kept postponing this. And he was like, I can wait, it can wait, it's okay, don't worry about it. And then he quit Ant-Man because he had written a script,
Right.
and he's like, I gotta make an Edgar Wright movie, and they're like, no.
Another
Like,
thing
this
that
has
he
to
had
fit with the
penned
Marvel
since early
universe.
2000s.
Yeah, he started working on the Ant-Man project in like 2005 or something, because Ant-Man was gonna be one of the first Marvel movies.
Right.
And they just kept pushing it back, and they're like, well, now we've got Iron Man, he's cool, right? And they just made like 7 Iron Man movies instead of doing anything with anyone else. Every Avengers movie is an Iron Man movie.
I mean, we can't argue that they've made a bad decision. Disney certainly made a lot of money off of those 7 Iron Man movies.
You're right. So,
And I mean, within the course of him not making Baby Driver, he made my favorite movie of all time, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So
that's a pretty good movie. Your mic is like, your audio is all out of whack.
Hello? Yeah, I don't think.
No, it's definitely recording. You just have a really soft voice. I'll fix it in post. So another thing with Baby Driver is John Hamm is the only actor who was at the first table read who's still in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, his part was written specifically for him, and he was the only actor to stay on.
Now were all the characters that we end up seeing in the movie were they already confirmed? Or
yeah, every
might
character is
added
from the
some
original
characters
script,
as well.
except for John Hamm's character he wrote like probably after Mad Men came out.
Does that mean that John Hamm's character was not actually planned for the movie, or?
Yeah, I mean there was probably someone in place there, but then he like specifically wrote that character for John Hamm to play.
Okay.
And then got him on board, and then they initially they were set to film, I think in Miami, but then it was going to cost too much, and they went around looking at all these other cities, and they settled on Atlanta.
Right.
And so he had to hire on like 6 people from Atlanta to come in and help rewrite the script to make it more specific to the area, because he doesn't know anything about Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's not from here.
And I mean it sounds like that's where a lot of the good movies this year are being
Everything's
filmed at.
filmed in Georgia
Infinity
because of the
War
tax
being
incentives.
filmed there. There's a couple others that I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, Atlanta's been the hot spot for
Every
film
Marvel
movies
movie.
this year.
Every Marvel movie. Oh, speaking of Marvel movies, Michael Douglas was initially signed on to play Kevin Spacey's part in the film. He was gonna play
Oh,
Doc.
really?
Yeah, and then because Edgar Wright is the one who reached out to Michael Douglas to get him on as Hank Pym for Ant-Man, and he only
Okay.
signed because it was gonna be an Edgar Wright movie. And then when Edgar Wright got taken off the project, he just stayed on. I guess they had already started production. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, whatever.
Well, I mean, at that point, he probably saw the success of Marvel and was like, yeah, why
Yeah.
not? It's not like I'm getting it into anything bad here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after seeing the movie, I think I like Kevin Spacey in that role a lot better. Maybe it's because I'm coming off of House of Cards season 5, but
I haven't watched any
but
of those
otherwise,
parts.
it's
Is
a
it
great
good?
show. It's a great show. Yeah.
Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe we'll do a podcast on that.
We should.
We'll do a
sometime.
recap of every
it's
episode.
It's certainly very topical with with the state of our politics.
Yeah, they had the writers said that they were mad because Donald Trump was stealing all of their ideas for the next season.
Kevin Spacey said that same thing on an interview with Colbert on the Late Show.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into the movie because
Alright.
the plot synopsis doesn't really give us too much.
Yeah, not
Just-
much. How deep do we want to get? How far into spoiler territory?
Well, I guess you can give us a quick summary with no spoilers, and then we'll dive into spoilers. So, Brandon, what was this movie about?
Well, like this plot synopsis says, this movie is about a kid who's trying to escape a debt that he owes to Kevin Spacey's character Doc. He ends up our main character Baby ends up stealing some merchandise from Doc, and instead of just tagging him for it, he ends up recruiting Baby, and is basically like, look, you're gonna be my getaway driver for all these heists that I'm gonna commit, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna come for you because you owe me a ton. And so over some odd amount of years, I don't know if they specify, Baby's just been essentially his getaway
Well, we know Baby's
driver.
been his driver since he was like 11 years old.
Was it 11?
Yeah, it's like he was 11, boosted a car from Kevin Spacey, and it became his driver.
Yeah. And they don't really talk about why he was getting into that sort of stuff at such a young age. Other than his
He didn't have any parents.
other than his not so great upbringing. But anyway, yeah, cut to the present and the start of this movie. He's at the very end of paying off his debt, and he ends up he meets a nice girl at the diner named Deborah.
Nice lady. Played by Lily James.
Yeah. Lily James, you guys would know her from Cinderella most likely. And so yeah, they hit it off. They start to build a relationship, and here comes Kevin Spacey's character calling him back in for one more job after his debt's already paid off. And so this movie is basically about Baby sort of struggling with. He thought he was going to end up moving on from this debt, but now he feels forced back into this job in order to protect now his new girlfriend, and also the person that's been taking care of him since his parents have passed.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
You left out a big part.
I left
Left
out
out
the
a
spoilers,
big
man.
part, and it's a real big part. It's how
Is it?
he and Deborah bond. It's over their music. Music plays a huge role in this
We
movie.
were gonna get to the music.
Well,
The music doesn't actually have
oh,
much to do with
it's got a lot
specifically
to
what's
do
going on in the
with
plot.
well,
It has a big thing to do with the movie.
well, the
but
movie was
not
specifically
about
written
the plot.
around having music. Edgar Wright wrote the movie with the idea of all these action sequences taking place to specific songs, much in the way that Guardians of the Galaxy was written.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, even in both of those movies, I mean, if you take the music out, nothing actually changes.
Whoa, what?
Well,
Everything changes.
This movie,
He's got a hum in the drum.
Yeah,
Music drowns it out.
That is one.
Why is the best?
Look, I'm saying the music itself doesn't actually mean anything to the general plot. It does mean something towards how Baby and Deborah begin their relationship, but that doesn't.
So the whole thing that kicks
doesn't
off the
have
plot.
any. Well, I mean, he's still doing these jobs outside of him building that relationship. I'm saying there's a lot of other things that are going on that the music, while it's key to the enjoyment of the movie, is not particularly key to the rest of the storytelling. And even what's starting their relationship, that's just the start of it. It doesn't care. The music meaning anything for that doesn't carry on.
I'm gonna take a little moment real quick just to apologize for all the loud noises in the background, possibly. There's fireworks going off like crazy everywhere. And it's soundproof the garage.
Is it picking up the fireworks better than it's picking up my voice?
Probably. Let me
That
see your mic real
sucks.
quick.
Alright.
We're gonna do a little audio testing real quick. A little bit of audio testing. Now I'm talking into your mic. Now I'm talking into my mic. Now I'm talking into your mic at the same level. Now I'm talking into my mic at the same level. Yeah, it's picking up. You're just talking real soft.
I feel like I'm talking loud.
I don't know.
This is this is a pretty general.
Yeah, you got it now.
I wonder if am I just talking on the wrong side of this?
Well, the whole mic is a microphone.
Well, yeah, but I
All
was
sides
talking
of
like
it.
this.
I'm twirling my mic right now.
Well,
It's
I can't
catching
even
every
tell
little
'cause
sound.
we're talking at the same time now. I can't even tell where yo. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you see these little bumps?
Yeah,
That's your voice.
that's yeah.
And you see these bigger bumps?
I think your mic's just
Look.
better than mine.
They're the same mic.
Yeah, but I think yours is somehow better than mine.
Well, I am classically trained in the theater.
Exactly. I'm classically trained
My
at
voice
yelling at
travels.
video games. I played instruments, so I never
My voice
had
is
to
my
speak
instrument.
loud.
Well, a little more into the movie. We pick up with Baby in the middle of a heist. And he just takes
Right.
off. Boy, does he. Oh, boy. The driving in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, and that was one of the. There's a lot of things that happen in this movie that are just surprising from a stunt perspective. It's not something that I expected. I certainly expected to be some cool driving, but I mean, you feel like you're watching a Fast and the Furious movie with some of the car
I felt like
stunts that
some of
they're
this was
going.
even more Fast and Furious than some of the Fast and Furious movies.
I would agree.
It was much quicker.
He's doing some I mean, look, some of the ways that he was drifting that car, it does. I don't even think it looks that good in the Fast and Furious movie, to be honest.
No, because Fast and Furious, a lot of it is about the car as opposed to the driving.
Right.
Especially in the early Fast and Furious movies. It's all, look at this really nice looking car.
Yeah.
You see this? You see this? He's not even watching the road. He's driving? What?
Well, at the same time they are doing simple races. That's true.
Yeah. Quarter mile at a time. We were at Kings Island the other day.
Yeah.
And so we were in line for the stunt coaster.
I don't know if I've been
It used to be
on
the
that.
Italian job ride. It's just
Yeah,
the one
I
where it's
haven't
like the
been on
cars
You guys always talk about the Italian Job ride every time we win,
it's
but
like
then we
cars.
never win.
It's because it's not that great of a ride, and the line's always super long. It's the longest line by far of any ride there. It doesn't make sense. It's not that great of a ride. It's kind of quick in the beginning. You go into a dark area and it spins you around a bit, and then like you stop on the tracks and they make gunfire noises, and then like there's fire and a little helicopter. It's like, oh, I'm like, oh man. And so the whole time we're in line, like the ride broke
Is there
down.
even fire in the Italian Job?
I mean, something explodes.
Okay.
They blow up a ton of stuff in that movie. But we were waiting in line, and like it just broke down, and me and Tim just kept looking at each other. Like, one more ride, Okana. I'm surprised they don't have a Fast and Furious.
So it
ride.
broke down like.
Yeah, it kept breaking down. It broke
While
down.
you were on
No.
it?
We were like about to get on, and they stopped and like, sorry guys, and they'd keep running cars through that were empty because like I guess some screws fell out of one of the cars. And they were trying to find the one to put it back into.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Hope you guys got like some fast passes or something for.
No.
For
It was just closed down
like
for like
that.
10 minutes or so while they found it. I mean, it didn't take too long.
Oh, so you
Overall, it was a good
ended
day.
up getting back. You ended up getting on it.
It was crazy though.
I bet.
But speaking of stunt coasters, all of the stunts, all the driving stunts in this movie were practical. It was either Ansel Elgort was driving or the stunt person was driving. So for the more complicated stunts, they had the stunt driver going at it. And then a lot of the time too, Edgar Wright had himself strapped to the outside of the cars they were using, so he could direct like in the scene.
What the heck, man?
It's a John Hammond joke that it was like driving around while staring at a sunburnt Muppet. So he's just like strapped to the outside of the car on some like harness thing, just waving his arms around, trying to direct while they're going 50 to 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, certainly a lot of the best ones. I don't think that was the case because some of them, like a lot of them, were just like they were helicopter shots.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So, yeah.
They use CGI to like take certain things out, like when he takes the truck up over the hill, and, like the sideways driving, they were on like a little
That
rig.
was not. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, they were on a
nuts.
little rig, and they just like took that out in post. And that was Ansel Elgort driving that. Watched a lot of behind the
if he
scenes
was on
stuff.
a rig, I mean, you don't.
Well, he was driving
Yeah.
a lot of the time, like for like small stunts or like in close areas.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie Foxx also talked about they would be like on actual busy streets because they hadn't like closed down everything,
Mm-hmm.
driving the wrong way on the freeway, like 50 to 60 miles per hour.
Oh,
Just, like swerving in and out of traffic.
Yeah, so you're talking about the initial police or not the initial one, the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first
truck.
one with Jamie Foxx's character Bats.
And when the truck gets pinned underneath the semi truck, that was all practical too.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's
So they just had all
that
them
was-
sitting
that
in the
was-
car, trapped under a truck.
that one's certainly more dangerous than most. They're like, like I don't know about that one.
Oh, so let's talk Jamie Foxx's character Bats.
Yeah, and I did want to bring him up at some point. I know I was talking with my coworker yesterday. He was telling me about how he wanted to go see it, and he was saying he's saying that one of the criticisms he heard about this movie was about Jamie Foxx's character, like it wasn't. I can't remember if it was that he didn't do a great job or if it was just like Bats was just a weird character and he felt like he was just like unnecessarily crazy. And I certainly didn't feel that way about the movie, but I was gonna ask if you had any thoughts on it.
I felt there were moments where he was a little too mean, but but it certainly served the character pretty well. I don't know. Jamie Foxx is great in everything.
Yeah. I mean,
He has an Oscar.
Yeah, that's certainly
That
true.
means he's one of the best. At one point, he was the best actor.
I mean, let's not act like we can't question.
You question an Oscar winner?
winners. Are you sure that you can't?
Name 2 Oscar winners that aren't good actors. Al Pacino's one.
Well, no, we're not gonna say. I'm not saying they're not great actors, but I'm just saying, like, don't tell me you watch Jupiter Ascending and you're like, Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, I love Jupiter Ascending. That's an amazing movie.
Jupiter.
That movie's incredible. You got a wolf guy. He's running around. You got Eddie Redmayne. He does this.
Yeah, but he was
How does he
super
sound in that?
weird.
He's got like a really dry whisper. Like a,
He was like
I
he
am
was
such
next
the
level
galaxy.
Voldemort. Was what he was like next level raspy
would just-
Voldemort.
and you just freak out. I want you to bring it to me.
All because he just wanted Mila Kunis to stand in as his mom.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Good movie though. Am I right?
I mean, look,
I
I'm
love
not.
that
I
movie.
mean, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna be a hypocrite. I was certainly. I had fun with that movie for sure. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on it. But he was.
It's probably my favorite Eddie Redmayne performance.
So that's just the only Eddie Redmayne movie you've seen then. That's what
No,
you're telling me.
I saw Les Miserables.
Is he in that?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
he plays the guy with the lizard face. Eddie Redmayne
I
looks
didn't
like a
know there was
lizard.
guy with-
No, he just looks like a lizard. His mouth is just kind of stretched back. I mean, he's not
Well,
ugly.
he does play
He's
a
a
character
handsome
named
guy.
Newt in Fantastic Beasts, so
Yeah, he's good in that too.
yeah, he is. Subtly though.
Yeah, he just got a weird face, doesn't he? It's kind of.
I mean, I guess.
It's like this. His mouth is just large.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
That
He's got a large mouth.
I'm glad you said
It's
something.
disproportionate.
I'm glad you said it.
Good singer, though.
I mean, is a large mouth or a small head?
No, his head is average size.
Okay.
But you see him in a distance, or you see him from behind. You're like, that's an average-looking man. He's got an average proportional head. Then he turns around, and you see that mouth, and you're like, that's off-putting at first. But I can get used to it.
I feel like we should stop criticizing Eddie Redmayne in case we ever get him on the podcast.
In case somehow we Eddie Redmayne on our podcast
Yes.
with
Around
7
the time
listeners.
Fantastic Beasts 2 comes out.
We gotta put in some work.
Yeah. But yeah, the car stunt work was pretty great in this movie.
Oh yeah.
As was just like the general stunt work was also pretty good, particularly like this man. So I don't even know if I want to. I don't even want to know if I want to ruin it, because like that part to me personally, as an Assassin's Creed fan, was like both surprising but just also amazing.
Okay, well, we're about 20. We're over 20 minutes in. We can probably dive into spoilers.
All right.
We've given the people that haven't seen it enough. They can listen to it and be like, oh, it sounds really good.
Yeah. But yeah. So later on in the movie, I mean, there's just like baby's got to run away from the cops. He's lost. He's sort of lost his ability to drive at this moment. Not really, but yeah. And so, instead of just running away like normal people do, it just turns into just like this full-on parkour.
And he makes it all look so
chase
easy.
scene.
He's just,
And
running across railings. You're like, what?
like,
What? He was missing a leg the last time I saw him in a movie.
what movie was that?
Fault in Our Stars.
Was
He
he
was-
missing a leg?
Yeah. He was missing a leg.
He wasn't
Yeah.
He wasn't missing a leg. He just
had
had
a
like
prosthetic
a fake.
leg.
Yeah, he had a prosthetic.
I mean,
leg.
yeah,
It
but he was
fine.
missing the original.
Well, yeah, but like, you made it sound like he just couldn't necessarily run. Like he could
couldn't
run
do
if he wanted
parkour.
to. Well, no, certainly not. It's lucky that was the last movie you saw him in. The last movie I saw him in was the Third Divergent movie.
Oh, I didn't see any of those. I heard they were garbage.
Good choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, it's crazy. I remember, and even earlier, it was like earlier on in the movie, he's running for some reason, and I was just sitting there like, that kid's like really fast.
Yeah,
Like,
he is really quick.
So it was like, but then when he went into full on parkour mode, I was like, I was like, all right, dude. Like, why are
Yeah,
you
that was
so
nuts.
great?
I always get mad when I see him in a movie though.
Why?
He's the same age as me and he's more famous. I want to
There's
be
a
in
lot
movies.
of people the same age as us that are more
How come I'm not in
famous.
movies, Brandon?
I don't know what, because you're in Columbus, Ohio. That's
John
why.
Travolta shot a movie here.
Yeah, he shot a movie here, but does he live here permanently? No.
Peter Frampton used to live here.
I've
You don't
heard
know
that
who Peter
name.
Frampton is?
No, not really.
He's a musician.
Yeah, I've heard his name. I know what
He
he
makes
does,
the
but
guitar
I don't.
talk.
I don't know.
He's the best.
What are you? Does that mean he's like a good guitarist?
Oh yeah, he's a great guitarist.
Or
And he sings too.
is he like a solo act, or is he?
I mean, like,
part of a
he's
band,
the draw. He's not like a band that you say the name of his band. And you're like, oh yeah, they have Peter Frampton as lead singer. It's Peter Frampton's having a concert.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a band that stays with him, I guess. Unless he just...
Is it just
people.
instrumentals? Does he sing?
No, he sings. You know the song Baby I Love Your Way? What? Ooh, baby, I love your way. Every day now, baby. You don't know that song?
No.
Jeez.
I don't listen to old music.
It's not old, it's from like the 90s.
I don't listen to music that I was 2 when it was made.
Fair enough.
That's a lie. I listen to old music. The other day I was listening to the score from The Godfather. So.
Well, speaking of music, there's a lot of music
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah, I mean. So yeah, besides my point that that the music is not necessarily integral to
I don't know.
the heist plot of the movie.
I don't know.
The music is incredibly used within the film.
Yeah, it is.
Because, I mean, this movie does something with music that I don't think any other movie that's not a musical has done. Where it's like, the music has true purpose to the character, as you pointed out earlier. The fact that, well, but
gotta hum
I'll
the
go
drum.
ahead and elaborate. The character Baby is in a car accident where his parents are killed, but he's left with
Tinnitus.
a sort of hearing impairment.
Yeah,
so
tinnitus.
I don't.
Yeah, they say it's tinnitus.
Okay.
Get it from loud noises. Like a lot of people that go to too many concerts. Well, because of I don't know, loud noise of the car crash. He was just a baby. He was a little boy. He was a little baby boy.
Feel like it was.
His ears were more sensitive.
Feel like it was more of a neurological sort of thing. I highly doubt it was because of the loud noise.
Well, that's how you get tinnitus.
This specific instance. Well,
like if you go to a gun range every other day or something, and you stop wearing your earplugs, you'll get tinnitus from that. Or if you go to a concert, if you go to too many concerts and you're like too close to the speakers, boom, it's like your eardrums will rupture, and then you're left with tinnitus.
I feel like there's more ways to have that.
Well, yeah, maybe his eardrums were just ruptured in the accident.
Case in point.
But accidents are loud too.
Yeah, I guess.
So he's got his tinnitus.
Yeah.
He's got a little hum in the drum.
Yeah, and so he's always listening to music in order to clear that out. However, he also so his mom is also a singer, and he's also just a much more musically inclined character. So even if he didn't have this accident, I feel like he'd still listen to music a lot. But yeah, in terms of the movie, there's true purpose for all the music that's played, and then also the way that the music is used to where it's synced up with a lot of the action scenes. There'll just be certain random things like a gunshot or something like that, and it's queued up perfectly with a downbeat on one of the melodies of a song. And that, yeah, I mean that's something that I'm pretty sure I haven't seen in a movie before. Have you seen anything?
There's a movie
Anything like
starring
that?
Bruce Willis where they play bank robbers and they sing show tunes while they're robbing places because they time out their robbery to the show tunes.
Okay.
It's like they'll sing a song that's like 1 minute and 32 seconds long, and that's how long they have to get everything done. And so they have certain specific areas that they have to hit in the song and the heist at the same time.
Right. In order to stay on pace.
I mean, it's not the same as this, although Baby does use songs to time his heist from time to time.
Yeah, I feel like that was what he did with the
Where he
the
restarted
second
the song.
one. Yeah, when he was like,
Yeah,
he's like,
wait,
hold on, I gotta restart
restart
the song. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and so the only unfortunate thing, and it's personal for me, is that like the music that they use in the movie, I didn't really care for. Like there wasn't a single song that I knew.
You don't like that Harlem Shuffle?
No.
You didn't like Tequila?
No. I didn't know any of the songs, and I didn't particularly care for any of them. But also being a musically inclined person, I certainly appreciated how they used music to drive the movie.
You didn't like Smokey Joe's Lala?
No. Did you even know that was in this movie?
No. Oh, I found that song. The Was He Slow song.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I didn't find it, but it's called Was He Slow, and it's by Kid Koala.
Oh yeah, and so yeah. Speaking of that, yeah. Also, he makes remixed. He makes little remix music as well in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
So yeah. I mean, he's like an extreme, and it's crazy how he does that, but then you juxtapose it with the person that had been taking care of him when he was little, who Baby is now more so taken care of as we're watching the movie. Is
his foster father.
Yeah, his foster father who is deaf. And so
the actor also deaf.
Oh, is
Yep.
Good.
Good.
I mean, not
good. I'm glad he came here. I'm glad he'll never enjoy the medium that is our podcast.
Not good that he's deaf. Good that they just casted a deaf actor instead of just casting somebody to play deaf.
I think it was more just casting
to
find someone who spoke sign language. I think that's what their main.
I mean, but you can find
was.
You can find people that aren't deaf that know sign language.
I guess. I mean, he's an actor that's been working for a long time.
Okay.
He's probably played deaf characters. I don't recognize him. He's probably in Law and Order. Everyone's in Law and Order.
Yes, I don't watch Law and Order.
John Barenthal was in Law and Order.
You know who was in a weird show that I watched earlier? I was watching earlier today. I'm sitting there watching Monk, man, and
good old Tony Shalhoub.
And they're in a doctor's office because some guy's got Hansen's disease, leprosy, and in pops good old Paul Blackthorne from Arrow, and so it was seeing him that first threw me off. But then when he started talking, and I forgot that I can't remember if he's British or Australian.
He's British.
But either way, I forgot that he was that. So he starts talking with his accent. It's like, whoa. And I was like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, that was
like,
interesting.
I just expected him to be a gruff alcoholic. What happened?
Right?
What was I going to say? John Barenthal. He's in this movie.
Yeah, not for long.
Yeah. He's in the first heist.
If you're a fan of the Punisher, don't get excited.
I mean, he's really good in the movie for what he does.
I guess.
That's
it was basically like he started being a dick to Baby Driver, and then Jamie Foxx took over his role.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that worked.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Doc killed him for being a dick to Baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Doubt it.
possible.
I mean, he didn't kill bats.
John Bernthal said, "You don't see me again, means I'm dead." Walks away. He's not in the movie anymore.
I don't know. He probably just got himself killed. Who knows?
Probably. Maybe John Hamm killed him.
Yeah, maybe. What?
John Hamm apparently killed a lot of people prior to their heist in the movies.
Yeah, he was apparently like a guy who can just go crazy.
Yeah.
And just like he's just got like a super killer instinct.
Darlene talked to him about how he killed the one guy. And he's like, which one? He's like, the guy that called you a slut? The guy that looked at you funny? Or the guy who... So he killed some guy for looking at her funny.
Yeah. So, speaking of Darling, that was the one thing thinking about this movie that was weird. Like, all the characters that recurred from Heist had like a fairly important role to the movie, except for her. Like, we saw
She
her
had a
on
pretty
two
important
different.
role.
Not
I mean, if she
not,
hadn't been there,
not really.
John Hamm wouldn't have
honestly. I mean,
gone after Baby.
She certainly didn't get as much to do as Jamie Foxx and Bats and Buddy did.
Well, I guess. Her character more served as just a driving force for John Hamm.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if she, like, I mean, you're gonna bring her. She's gonna be there like twice for two different heists. Like, let her get something extra at least.
She got John Hamm. How much more could you want?
I don't know. Well, so it's partly part of it is I just think they should have shared the screen time for her character. But another part of it is she was initially when the very first rumors about Gotham City Sirens came out, and they were I remember her being rumored to play either like Catwoman or even Zatanna, which doesn't make sense now. But I mean, it could happen. But yeah, so that was also a thing. I was like, okay, well, if she's possibly gonna be in a movie that I'm gonna go see, like, I would like to see what she's about as far as acting and stuff. And so yeah, that for that reason also I would have liked to see her get more. But yeah, I mean, I think her character should have been able to get a little bit more in the movie.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have like zero complaints with this movie.
I don't really have that many either. Like, that was really all I had, and I kind of had to think about it as well, just to get there. But yeah, that was something that kind of stuck out to me.
Your voice is still barely picking up.
Man, I don't know.
There you go. Just
I
keep
don't know
that
what to
tone.
do. Okay, but I'm like, the mic is almost in my mouth right now.
Let me just take the cover off.
That could actually help. Is this better? No.
You guys speak up.
Is this better?
On set, whenever Edgar Wright wanted like more presence from Ansel Elgort, he would yell, "Man driver! Man driver!" And then he would show him a picture of Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange.
I haven't seen that movie, but I've heard of it.
Oh, it's real intense. He just runs around with his friends and rapes people.
That's not. That's
It's
weird.
really intense.
I don't know if I want to see that movie now.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, it's a hard watch. It's good.
Him and it. That's super weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. The book's worse. The book's got a lot of intense stuff in it.
Well, I would hope so if the movie's intense.
Like the movie's toned down.
I would hope that they just didn't make
still,
an intense movie based on a book for no reason. Yeah. Speaking of Ansel Elgort, I want to talk. I wanted to talk about his character because he was certainly my favorite character. Like they get you to care about this character so easily and so quickly in this movie. But also I really liked how the character was, and I mean this is both the character but also Ansel Elgort should get a lot of credit for this as well. I mean he's such a subtle and quiet character, yet also has like so much charisma.
Yeah,
it was really striking to me.
Even though he doesn't have like a crazy amount of lines,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't get real intense emotionally in his lines. He carries the movie pretty much.
Yeah,
just based on charisma. He's got a lot of on-screen presence without having to do too much.
Yep, the charisma and look and everything. Yeah, he was really, really good in the movie.
Yeah. You had a fun time getting coffee. That was a good scene. In that scene, lyrics to the song he's listening to are like graffiti and stuff on the walls.
I meant to talk about that when we were talking about the music as well.
Oh, yeah.
That was another piece of the greatness of how they were able to incorporate.
Yeah, because he timed his entire walk to the coffee shop, his order, and the walk back to the song.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, they had the lyrics on the walls, and also there were like some light posts that also had lyrics on them, and like they looked like they were like it was written in like Christmas tree lights or something, but
it's a really stylized piece.
Yeah, well, it's Edgar Wright.
Yeah. What's your favorite Edgar Wright movie?
Didn't I mention it earlier?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to our podcast.
Yeah, so, well, my favorite Edgar Wright movie is my favorite movie of all time, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
That's right. I'm still partial to Hot Fuzz.
Those are actually the only two I've seen, so, like...
you haven't seen Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead?
Nope.
What?
No. That was kind of before my movie time. A little bit.
When did you start watching movies?
It was probably like 7th grade when I started going to the theater with you guys. Like outside of that, I didn't. I wouldn't normally just watch movies on my own. But
I don't get that.
I mean, technically, Hot Fuzz hadn't came out yet. I don't think.
I think Hot Fuzz came out in 2008.
Yeah,
maybe before.
I think because Shaun of the Dead was like 06, right? Or was that earlier?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
I think Dawn of the Dead was 04.
I found that song though. Like the full song on
you,
YouTube. No, I found it on YouTube now. I found it
Where
on
did
the
you find it
soundtrack. I
before?
found it on the soundtrack, and I was like, "Oh, that's who it's by." But yeah, I found it.
Nice.
What was your favorite scene while I'm looking up this stuff?
My favorite scene. I mean, I liked. Probably my favorite scene was the parkour scene, for the reasons that I already mentioned before. I'm watching it do this parkour, and I'm like, and it was like two different thoughts crossed my mind. I was like, man, either Ansel Elgort should play an assassin. Like if they tried to do Assassin's Creed the right way, they could let him be like Desmond, or man, Edgar Wright should direct an Assassin's Creed movie. Like it might end up being too silly, but like at least at least I know the parkour is there.
Yeah.
Not that the Assassin's Creed movie missed the parkour. It just missed like everything else that made Assassin's Creed great.
They should redo Assassin's Creed with Stephen Amell.
Right?
He's got so many parkour skills.
I'm not gonna sit here and say replace Michael Fassbender. He's fine, but.
Oh, Shaun of the Dead was 2004. Hot Fuzz 2007.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I probably should have seen. I should have probably seen Hot Fuzz, but I haven't. Like when it came to like comedies like that, I was like, I pretty much was like Apatow or die. Like I didn't and like even back then I wouldn't have known like whose movies to watch, but I just remembered high school was about the Apatow movies for sure.
Well, it's because you were in high school when Superbad came out.
Exactly.
So everything was all about Superbad.
Yeah.
Wait, did Judd Apatow direct Superbad?
He was involved in it.
Yeah. I know Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg wrote it.
It honestly don't. I'm not sure, but I mean you can tell when Judd Apatow has his hands on a movie. So
it's got all the same people.
Regardless of whether he directs it or is writing or producing it.
He uses the same actors for everything because he started that show Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah.
And so like everyone like quit school and everything to be a part of that show because they thought, oh, this is my ticket. This is gonna be a big show. And then it just got canceled after the first season. He's like, I'm sorry, guys. And he just started putting them in movies.
But it's a cult classic now.
Yeah, now everyone loves it. It's just when it came out, it was ahead of its time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it would probably do a lot better if it would have came out now.
Yeah, let's get a reboot with Freaks and Geeks. And that's the same cast back.
But geek culture is back in now. So, like, I think it would certainly work. But yeah. Yeah, so I, outside of Judd Apatow, I never really branched out to any other raunchy comedies like that.
I can understand that.
But I know better now. That's for sure.
I guess let's talk the ending of the movie. Or
okay.
Yeah.
What about?
Let's talk that final heist. So you have this big old plan. Then things start to go awry.
Yeah, man. And so this was another weird thing. What's his name? Doc decides to compartmentalize the information a little. In my opinion, unnecessarily compartmentalizes the information about the job. And so they go out to secure some
firearms.
Some hardware, some firearms. And one of our characters notices that somebody is there who shouldn't be there. And so he's like, he's quick on the trigger. And so yeah, we've got a full-blown shootout, and the plan gets completely messed up, but they decide to go along with it anyway.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But not everybody.
Well, yeah, because at this point, Baby is
set on just getting out of there.
He already thought he was done, and then he's like, okay, I'll come back in, and then, it was more than that too, because then that was when they visited the diner. You get that exposition about how crazy Buddy is, and and Bats finds out essentially that
there's a little something going on between Baby and this girl.
Yeah, and the hostess of the restaurant, waitress. I couldn't think of the word waitress, so I went hostess. But yeah, and I mean, Baby. Essentially, their plan from the beginning was to kind of just get out of town and just drive. Just be kids. Music. Be kids with no plan.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the rest of the movie is essentially driven by Baby's motivation to just like be done with his life and start his life with Deborah.
And you almost got it. Almost got it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because sometimes and that's, I mean, essentially one of the lessons of the movie is like there's some things that you can't
run away from all your problems.
Yeah, like everybody. I mean, regardless of how messed up your situation is, when you do something bad, you have to repent for it in some form.
Let's go ahead and not talk too much about the actual ending.
Yeah.
We'll just hop in with the final
Well,
thoughts.
I do want to. We don't necessarily have to spoil it.
Yeah.
But there is a direction. There's a direction that the ending goes. And well, okay. So there's two there are two directions that the ending could go. There's the way it does go and the way that it doesn't go. And I feel like
there's the way you think it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Then there's the way it does go. That you
and
thought it might, but you didn't think it would.
Yeah. And my question is, like, do you think the ending that we got is the better ending? And I want to preface this question because I remember reading about Scott Pilgrim, and spoilers on that movie if you guys haven't seen. I
think most people have seen Scott Pilgrim.
I hope you have. If not, you should go watch it. But his original ending was that Scott was not going to end up with Ramona. That she was just going to walk off and Scott was going to be with Knives.
What's how the comic goes?
That was going to be the end. Well, that one issue.
Well,
not the entire series.
I feel like if they had gotten a sequel to Scott Pilgrim, like if he had a sequel planned before, then they would have ended it with him and Knives, and then just brought her back in.
Yeah, but they sort of encapsulated the entire. He encapsulated the entire series in that one movie.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but
yeah, so the ending for this, I don't know if I liked it or not. Because I was rooting for a specific ending. And then we got that ending. And I was like, oh man, this could have been a happier ending. But then I think overall, I'm glad it ended that way.
But, so I mean...
Because now you think, now
he
feels like he's in the clear.
Are you saying that it wasn't a happy ending?
No, I mean, it was a happy ending. I just mean, they could have avoided one scenario and just gone on with their lives, but then they were faced with a scenario.
Well, and so that was my question though, was like, because I remember the emotion that was evoked in me when that scenario began, and when it didn't end up. And when it didn't at the end up going that way, I did feel a little bit empty, like the ending that we ended up getting, it didn't end up having as much impact. And so I'm certainly a guy for the happy ending. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I walked into that one.
So you had this feeling, and you're ready for that happy ending.
Yeah. But it's like once it tries to take you on a different path, I was like, man, like even though it wasn't that happy ending, like I still got it, and I feel like that would have left me with much more of an impact versus the ending that we ended up getting. And it's not where I'm trying to say like one is better than the other. I just wonder.
What could have been?
Yeah. And what your thoughts might have been on that. So you like the ending.
Yeah, I'm glad it ended the way it did. Now,
you don't
feel
like
there's
the
no more
inclusion.
wrong.
You don't like the inclusion of the path that it tried to take, that you thought it was going to take us on. Okay.
Because it starts and you're like, oh, thank goodness that's all over and behind them. It's,
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
It makes that makes. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say what my other comparison for it is, because then it might ruin it, and I don't want to do that. We can talk about that later.
I understand.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and wrap up then with just maybe a couple more fun facts, and then talk some alternate casting choices.
You have it.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. So the body count for this movie, 14 people. 14 dead.
That does seem.
Seems
it does
high.
seem kind of high.
Yeah.
Is that just? That's
because
not
of the two shootouts.
That's not including main cast.
No, that's including main cast.
Okay. No, that's not that bad.
And there's over 30 songs on the soundtrack. Another fun fact.
Yeah, and it doesn't even feel like there's that. It doesn't even feel like there's that much. There's that many songs in the movie.
It's because they're all,
to be honest,
included. Like there's no time set aside just for music.
Right.
But everything's just flowing naturally. It's not like you sit there and listen to the entire song every time. You get snippets of songs here and there.
Yeah, but even so, I don't know, maybe I was just too into the movie. I'll say what I was gonna say after, but yeah, maybe I was just too into the movie to really notice how fast the music was going by. But yeah, speaking about how good this movie was, I remember there was actually like a scene where like I was watching it and like I forgot I was watching a movie. Like I was sucked that deep into the movie. So that was.
It's a pretty good review.
Yeah. It's not something that I can remember happening before with any movie.
So let's just touch real quick on some alternate casting choices.
All right. But first, I have one more question.
Shoot.
Which is also a fun question. Would you, and we did talk about Fast and Furious earlier, would you want to see Baby
as a character in Fast and Furious?
Fast and Furious, yeah.
Ooh, no.
Really?
No, yeah, because this is like bank heist and robberies and stuff. And like Fast and Furious started, they were stealing DVD players, and now they're preventing World War III, and The Rock is kicking a torpedo. Baby does not fit in that world.
The Rock is kicking a torpedo.
He hung out of a truck, grabbed a torpedo, and shoved it off course.
What?
A torpedo was launched across the ice. It was headed towards them, and The Rock pulls up alongside of it, leans out his truck, grabs it, and goes, "Ah!" and just shoves it. And just shoved it out of the way.
Yeah, that did happen.
You have Jason Statham holding a baby, fighting a bunch of terrorists on a plane. I don't think that fits in the same world as Baby Driver.
Maybe Jason Statham is Baby all grown up, but British.
That's why he's got the music with him.
Yeah. See? Or maybe. Well, no, because his name's Brian. Never mind. I was gonna say or maybe.
Maybe it's O'Connor.
The baby is baby grown up. Is baby as a baby. Jeez. Yeah, no, I'd love to see him in it because he'd be such a different character.
I mean, I'd
But
love
he'd
to
be
see
like-
another movie
he'd be
with
like
this character in it. Just not maybe a Fast and Furious movie.
It would be crazy when you look at all these other characters that are part of the Fast and Furious gang. Like
I mean,
the
they all
hardcore
somehow
gang,
know
and
kung fu.
they're all super cool. But then, like, if you put Baby in there, like, he would almost be like he'd be like cooler than everybody except for maybe Toretto. Like he'd be such a slick character.
Yeah.
It'd be dope. Plus, he's got the skills, man, and he's got the
He's got the
tunes.
skills to pay the bills.
Yeah, man, I'd be down for for a Baby cameo.
So we already talked. Michael Douglas originally cast to play Doc, and the
Right.
only other like casting that happened, like before they settled on the final people, was they were just looking at other people to play Deborah. Emma Stone was
Okay.
originally cast, and then she dropped out to do La La Land. And Chloe Grace Moretz
Nope, I
was
don't remember
cast,
for that.
and she dropped out. I don't know what she dropped out for, because she also left The Little Mermaid
Or, yeah.
and like 2 other projects that she was signed on to. She just left them all. Maybe she's taking a
Is she
break.
getting? Yeah, I mean,
Who
I
knows?
think that's what it was. Yeah, I like Lily James more than Chloe. I think in this movie.
Yeah,
I
definitely
don't know.
for this
I
part.
don't know necessarily. I don't know necessarily about Emma Stone, but I would have definitely preferred Lily James.
That was a beetle over here on my desk.
I think Chloe Grace Moretz she comes off too young.
What? This beetle's
It's
over
not
time.
even. And I mean, not even because she was Hit Girl and Kick Ass. I just think I feel opposite of Ansel. She comes off a bit too young.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is weird because I feel like they're the same age.
they might be. It's not to also say that Ansel Elgort looks old, like he's a baby face too, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, and I mean, especially after seeing the movie as well, I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't replace.
Is there
Lily James.
anybody else that you might wanted to have seen as Baby?
Oh man.
Because the only other person I feel like
I don't
could
know.
have played
I
it
don't
well is
know.
Zac
I
Efron.
don't know. Yeah, you did talk it. No.
But then at the same time, I feel like
I
Zac
don't
Efron's a
think
little
so.
too cool.
Yeah. That I definitely agree with that. Like
'Cause I wrote down here Zac Efron or Miles Teller. I feel like the best medium there is Ansel Elgort. Because I think Miles Teller comes off as kind of a loser in some certain roles. And so in this role, I feel like he would have been perceived maybe a little slow. You know? Or maybe he would have brought too much emotion into it.
No, I think between Ansel and Miles, I think Ansel comes off as just a nicer guy.
Yeah.
Like he just comes off as more of a warm, kind-spirited guy that I think is essential to the character of Baby.
Yeah, I think he's a little more classically charming too. Like Miles Teller can be charming, but sometimes it comes off as
Yeah.
pretentious.
Yeah,
Whereas Ansel Elgort has a real honesty to him.
And then I don't
And
know.
then Zac Efron's a little. He's just too handsome.
He.
It's hard for
just-
him to play characters that aren't like super popular handsome people.
Yeah. Like I mean it's weird to say, but I think for this role he's a bit he just like he's a bit too Hollywood, man. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't like Baby's sort of like it in a way. He's kind of like an everyman, and not like
Yeah.
you look at Zac Efron and it's like, okay, this guy comes from somewhere, he comes from a good place or something like that. Like I don't know if he's ever had to he He wouldn't come off like he's had any struggles or anything.
Yeah, I guess. It's because he's friends with The Rock now. Zac Efron could join Fast and Furious.
He could. That's what I was thinking about the other day. They could have. I feel like they could have just had Zac Efron be Little Nobody instead of Scott Eastwood.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have worked really well.
First of
Scott
all,
Eastwood,
I mean, because
he didn't bring a lot to the character.
first of all, like pairing Zac Efron with Kurt Russell, like come on,
Definitely.
like that's a good match.
It's because of their great hair.
Exactly.
Scott Eastwood's not known for his hair.
But and I mean, part of it too is just like I said, I just thought Ansel Elgort did such a great job in the movie. Like it's hard to even consider replacing him with anybody or even picturing anybody else in that role.
What about Doc?
Like I wouldn't have hated Michael Douglas in Kevin Spacey's role. Yeah, I mean, like I like Kevin Spacey a lot, particularly because of House of Cards. So I'm happy with seeing him, but like Kevin Spacey is not essential to that role. I don't think. I think you could have had.
I was thinking about Michael Caine. Michael Caine is a crime boss. He's got a little hum in the drum.
Yeah, but I don't know if he would have came. I don't know if I would have been that intimidated of him. Like when Kevin Spacey shows up at the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if Michael Caine pulls off that scene as well as Kevin Spacey does.
Well, there's a Sylvester Stallone movie called Get Carter, and it's a remake of a Michael Caine movie called Get Carter, where in that Michael Caine plays Carter, but in this Michael Caine plays like a crime guy who Carter goes to intimidate. Michael Caine just gets real mad at him. He's like, "Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" And he's just shouting at Sylvester Stallone. So he can play a tough guy in certain scenarios, I feel like. But maybe, I think Kevin Spacey is the best choice for this.
Yeah. I mean, it's
a good reunion of Kevin Spacey and Jamie Foxx. They were both horrible bosses.
Yeah, that's right. That's so when my coworker was telling me about that criticism of Jamie Foxx's character, and I was just like, well, he doesn't really need a reason to be crazy. Like he's a criminal. Like you don't really need to explain why somebody acts crazy. But also I was like the only criticism that I could understand is if people were just like, oh, he's just being motherfucker Jones. Like that.
Yeah.
but like that's the only thing.
His character is very similar to that.
But even then, like it's not like his character's not as silly as that. He's he's more serious and certainly smarter than motherfucker.
Is
Jones
he smarter?
Is. Oh, I think
There's that line Kevin Spacey yells at him. But because he says the only way they'd be able to ID them is with a Ouija board, and he says, "Well, your name only takes 4 fucking letters to spell." He's like, "Bats isn't my real name." It's like, "Shut up, Leon."
No, look. I mean,
he certainly has moments where he comes off as, maybe he's thinking about something else.
I don't think him getting hit with that Ouija board line
he's not a criminal mastermind.
That Ouija board comeback wasn't necessarily great because still the Ouija board's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not. Like it's not like he said his name and it was like somebody would have had to. I don't know. I think he was a fairly smart character for being a crazy criminal.
Did you like his little mantra he had every time before a heist?
Yeah, he was the hype man for the team. Yeah, that was great.
That's all money in there.
I was like,
They got what's ours. You're gonna take it back.
It's like yeah, you never see anything like that in a heist movie unless it's like you're rooting, you're like actually supposed to be rooting for them, like they're actually good people doing a heist, and it's just like somebody like riling up the team.
Yeah.
But like this is just Jamie Foxx, just like getting them hype, man, to go possibly kill people as they steal a bunch of money. That was great.
So overall, well, what's gonna be our rating system for this movie? Do you think?
Oh man. So I mean, we can do the
I think
amount
we
of
can do
remix
skid
cassettes.
marks. Burnouts. Bullets. Or successful heist.
I was thinking either remix cassettes or amount of songs, amount of baby songs.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7 remix mixtapes out of a possible 8.
Out of a possible 8, okay. So you're going like 8.5, essentially. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. The movie didn't necessarily blow me away, but like I still thought that it was pretty, like it was like expertly done.
Oh yeah.
Like it was very well done. I think it's probably gonna end up on my top 5 list for the year, honestly.
Yeah, I think so
Like,
far it's my favorite movie of the year.
Like I don't think. I feel like this is like the most perfect movie that I've seen so far this year. It just doesn't have it didn't necessarily blow me away, but it just doesn't really have any flaws. It's well written and just a tight, straightforward movie. There's no holes or anything in it.
All right.
So yeah, Sans a lot of personal and like a lot of personal enjoyment. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10.
I can dig it. I think that's gonna do it for us here on this episode of Fungi Pod. Be sure to tune in next time.